police. If we defund the eagle police, okay, we need to fund them because the hawks are attacking our eggs.
Happy
Live in the land of the
birthday,
free and the
America.
home of the eagle.
If you didn't know, well, America is a thing, and we're here to celebrate that thing. This is supposed to be an eagle head. I think it's a great.
More of like a crow.
It's a great representation of how we try to show up for America.
We try to do this for you, but
hey. Things are popping off. If you don't know us, we are the Professional Hippies, and welcome to our show. I'm Colton. This is Dylan, and we try to bridge the gap between the hippie woo-woo and the high achievers.
like myself.
So today we have a very special episode celebrating America and the 4th of July by the time this comes out, and we're excited to get into it with you guys.
America.
All right, boys, let's remember our training.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are some hippies, these are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends. We are some hippies, these are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends.
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you.
This is my land and nobody's taking it.
Can you imagine back in the day when they were like, so what this thought that I'm about to express came from is that there was a cereal company back in the day that like per box of cereal, you got a piece of land in an area that was known to have like gold.
Could you imagine?
It was like an inch of land, but for every box of cereal you bought, you got an inch of land. That's how cheap land was.
They were just giving it away after the wars. They were just like, here you go, you get 100 acres.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Well, back then, I mean, it's just like any other resource.
There's some
like
Native Americans out there. Be careful.
No kidding. Imagine dealing with that stuff.
I would have just been like, look, guys, like, this is what we have. We have guns. I want to be friends with you. You can just live over there in that corner. Right there. That's
I think the language barrier and the whole, like, they heard about everyone else that we were killing was probably like a bit of an imposition to them.
That word probably spread so quickly out there. They were
For
like,
sure. You have people that have been competing for centuries against each other, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, I know you fucked my cousin. That was not cool.
But these guys come along here way worse. They're
going to fuck all of our cousins.
It is bad. And they bring disease. Get them out of here.
You know, but
spear them.
How about that cultural appropriation? Like the whole Victor's right, the history books.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely learned about it, but did we ever really sit with it?
Well, I went to a Christian school, so they were like, so we took land, and that's all that happened.
Oh, they just breezed over that.
Yeah, they were like, there was Native Americans, and now we own this land. So I didn't really learn too much about.
They didn't like go too much in detail.
No, they were not too much. They were like, there's the Thanksgiving, and the Native Americans and the white people got along so well.
Now is Thanksgiving? What is Thanksgiving even all about?
Getting fat.
Yeah, but like, is that supposed to honor the people that we fucked up?
I don't know what it's even honoring. It's just the Pilgrims is what I was always taught. The Pilgrims, and it's kind of like the way I looked at it. You remember the war in World War I or World War II? I forgot, whatever. That the Americans and the Germans came together on Christmas and they played soccer and stuff. That's what I imagined Thanksgiving was like the Pilgrims and the Native Americans were just at odds, and they were just like, guys, let's just have a dinner together. Come on, just one day.
A feast.
The Chiefs got so high. They're like, all right, they came over. The Pilgrims were like, no, thank you, but we'll give you some turkey that we caught. And then they went right back at it right after that. That's what I imagine it was like.
That's an interesting take. I've never heard like that kind of perspective on Thanksgiving.
That's how I've kind of think about it, because that's how it was taught to me. It's just like, oh yeah, then they just made peace and they came together and had. It's like they didn't just make peace over turkey and some carrots. Like,
yeah, I mean that. Interesting enough, I had a great grandfather that came over on the Mayflower.
Oh yeah,
he died, but
as many people did back then.
Shout out to Grandma for tracking that one down.
That's pretty cool.
Like, how's that even like?
Is that on, like, on Ancestry or something?
No, she did it the good old fashioned way, like doing research.
Encyclopedias.
I don't know if you find that kind of genealogy in an encyclopedia.
That's true.
Because encyclopedias are pretty thick, but.
Do you ever have like the set? My grandma bought like a full set, and that's how I did my research.
My grandfather had a set, and so from what I remember, he bought these set of encyclopedias because I believe the quote was, "Ain't no woman gonna be smarter than me," referring to his wife. Ain't no lady, because he called grandmother lady. And so, sure as shit, I fact checked it. I went and opened up them encyclopedias, and I'll be damned if there wasn't all kinds of red ink all up in those motherfuckers.
You'll learn quicker than me.
Like, what do you do? It's self-taught. I mean, extremely intelligent man, but like, who am I to judge how someone teaches themselves?
That is American
Studying,
way of thinking. I'm going to learn quicker than everybody else.
It's like the weird kid that used to read a dictionary.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
That was my grandfather.
Spelling bee king.
Rock out.
So we did, we came over, we took some land, but you know what? I was thinking about this on the way over here for some reason, because it's America, how when, the British wanted their land, basically like, no, that's our land. And we were like, no, this is our, we did the work. This is ours.
Right.
We're gonna make a new place. Didn't we win those wars basically? Because for a while they're just shipping, their own weaponry and everything over, just more men. They keep sending them over.
Right.
So we basically were like, oh yeah, we're not going to line up in straight lines anymore. We're just going to shoot you from the woods.
That was George Washington being
George
a thug.
Washington's like, why are we doing it? Like, we've been progressive since the beginning. The progressives now are just like, LGBTQ and whatever. And back then it was
we
like,
support that, by the way.
We completely support that. But back then the progressive was like, we're going to shoot these motherfuckers.
That
was the progressive back then.
Yeah, that was them getting lit.
Man, they're like, we could just lure them.
I don't understand how someone could just volunteer their life in a straight line.
We'll just be like, hey, we got tea and crackers over here, and we just lure them.
Think about how hard. Well, that actually might have played into it. How hard of an existence it was to live at that time. Like, technology is kind of becoming a thing. It's really booming, guns and stuff like that.
But the thing, when you say technology though, like, that was all in Europe. Like, they had all the smart people, the technology. Like, we had technology, but you can't carry completely all that information with you over here. So you had the information based off the minds that you just had here.
I'm talking about the British here. I'm talking about guys that were in these massive platoons of soldiers, and they were told to line up, and you're volunteering your life. And where all that came from was just like, that's just old training. Because if you were in those kind of what are they? It's not a flank. It's a
flank is from the left or the right when you're
doing
something.
I'm trying to think of the term for when they like lock arms and they get together. In those,
there is a term. Don't know what it is, but there is a term for that.
Yeah, when they like they're like in lock, right?
I always like memes that were like, I love how they were just people on the war, but they were like, hey, Jerry, play that shit. And there's just the drummer boy.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of orders that came through the trumpets and the drums.
Yeah.
That was like the cadence of them marching with the drums.
Yeah. Like, hey, we need to go right or left. So then you played the cadence.
Well, yeah, I think it was the cadence. The drum was the cadence of how fast they were to march, and the trumpets were the movements of the soldiers. So, like, the reason why George Washington would target the generals and the lieutenants was because then they couldn't understand what, the higher ups wanted them to do. So they would target the officers first. So then there'd be like dismay on the battlefield. So there was actually like a formal meeting where they're like, will you please stop taking out our generals and lieutenants first?
No.
Negative.
No. You can come after me. No one said you didn't have to come after me. And he's just out there dressed like a regular soldier, probably. Like,
I don't know, man. I mean, the thing about the founding fathers that does really disturb me is like how much we celebrate them. And you got to take it like there's a Sam Harris approach here that I like to think, like, you got to think with the time, but also they were literally, I think, damn near every fucking one of them had slaves, indentured servants,
Well,
all this shit.
We hadn't even reached civil rights or civil war yet. We were just trying to establish.
I get it, and it's a hard pill to swallow to think like.
I think they were making slaves fight. They were just like, we need you, get out there. At that point, I mean, George Washington definitely had his slaves because he had some of the biggest crops up in Vermont out of anybody.
So it's just fucked up to think like, okay, here's these people that like we really celebrate.
He grew hemp and weed, by the way. He had some of the biggest hemp and weed properties in the country at the time.
Yeah, and all that shit is hard earned.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about all that land that's got to be farmed and shit.
He had a lot of it too. You ever been there to his property? We went to his property. It's big up there.
Yeah, and it's still probably
house
a fraction of what it was.
Yeah, house is still there. Property's still there. Yeah, Matt, I'm sure a lot of it was sold off compared to all.
For sure.
And they're like, oh yeah, you own like this plot, but like your next person's not going to be until 2 mountains over that you have.
And then like, what do you do with all that land?
I don't know. It'd be awesome to have all that land though.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I like how they assigned him as president too, and he didn't even want to be president.
Right.
They're just like, no, you're our guy.
Yeah.
You're it. You led us through this. You got us here.
That is the thing about history though. Like the more you dig into it, I mean, it's really interesting. And there was a guy that I heard about recently on the Tim Ferriss podcast, potentially, who's going back and writing a real, I'm going to say that like with air quotes, but actually meaning like an unbiased and no leaning history.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like really pissing off a lot of people because it's recognizing genocides and recognizing things that like just saying how it is, you know, instead of being like America's this great big country, it's like painting it as it would actually happen, like an invasion. Right. So, and if you go back and you strip all of this like patriotism, not just talking about from America, but let's say like China or Russia or Germany, you know, like if you were to be unapologetic about it and unbiased, it's just fucking genocide everywhere and blood. Like,
you're talking about like when we were coming over and just
the whole thing. This guy's going back and like writing just more of like a different series of history books.
Okay.
And bringing in stuff from all different angles that it's not like none of the stuff's not said or explored, but it's just really not recognized at the level it should be. So going back and instead of the victors writing the history books, actually like giving a more even scale.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just to go through that. If
someone actually fact checking the show, if you could send that to me, that'd be great. So you really guys, you need to send at Dylan Whitten the same stuff you send me because I get feedback I don't think that you get.
I don't get any. It's kind of nice. I just come out here and
with the challenge. I mean, I
did get a little bit of feedback on that.
Did you?
Yeah.
The challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go back and listen to the episode about your legs?
Nope. Didn't do that yet. Oh well.
Hey, we should do that at your party.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a good one. Throwing a 4th of July party this weekend. That might be a good time to do that.
That'd be a great time.
That'll be the rain break when there's nothing else going on. Like,
how big is the slide?
So we got one where you can have it as 2 separate ones, or you can attach it and make it long. So it's either going to be a 25-foot or a 50-foot one.
Oh, so, okay, hold on. So, all right, so we got a slip and slide, and what else?
There's 2 slip and slides that we can make into a long slip and slide.
Okay.
And then there's going to be the blow-up pool that I got from you.
Nice.
And then we can, stick a sprinkler out in the yard or something. Leave it around.
Like a shitty kids party. Like one of those.
Or awesome party.
No, it's going to be a great party, but it's like when you were a kid and you'd go to a party and you're just like rolling around in a lawn and you get bit up by those bugs, but you're like jacked up on Mountain Dew.
We used to do, because my dad was in construction, right? So those like big white barrels, the plastic ones you can get. So my brother and I, what we used to do is just fill it up with water, and then our yard angled down to a pool. So then to make us slide, because we didn't have money to buy stuff like that, we would fill it all the way up, stick ourselves in the barrel, and just push it over down the hill.
That's the most redneck shit.
It's just a wave of water going down, whee, right down the grass.
That is the most redneck shit.
Now that I think about it, though, that water bill had to be shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh man, yeah, that was a lot of fun though. My brother and I still talk about that, like best water slide we ever made.
Yeah, we would do all kinds of crazy stuff to entertain ourselves as kids. My brother and I used to climb to the top of trees and see how far you could bend them before they would break.
Yeah, that was fun. I always like doing that.
What do you think kids did back in the day to entertain themselves? Like when they would just run out in the woods and shit?
Let's think about like if I'm 1776, right? Or, you know, let's say past the war, right? Like we've won and I'm a kid. Great. I'm now growing up. How do I entertain myself? I feel like by the time I'm 12, I'm not really entertaining myself. I've got to go get water. I got to help put food on the table by this point. Go create some bread.
You definitely have some life you got to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, at like 8, they're putting them to work.
At 8, you were helping around the house at that point, I feel like.
Yeah.
I remember there was some up in Tallahassee where it was like one of those places where they reenact stuff. And there's a place you go into the house and they tell you how people lived. And it was always funny because I'd be there with my brother usually. And they would be like, the older brother gets the bed because he's the worker and the younger brother has to sleep on the floor or this. And I was like, this is why I'm better. Just to let you know, all the way back in time.
Ugh.
Because the oldest is doing the hardest work outside of, the dad.
Yeah, but still. The kids just sleeping on the floor?
Or whatever mat they had.
Right.
Floor or mat they had on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, mattresses are really expensive.
Get some deer hide. That's how you get a deer hide. Put some hay underneath it. Boom. Get yourself up.
I guess. It's definitely not as nice as that bed I got in there.
Of course not.
Of course not. Sweet.
But after a day of cutting down hay and cutting down some cherry trees.
You know what? I love the problems I have in my life right now.
Yeah, right. Imagine no air conditioning. Folks, imagine, it's not like you're going camping. You're like, oh yeah, I don't have a weekend of no air conditioning. It's every day, every season.
But you don't know what you don't know. I mean, here's the deal.
I feel like I do know it after one weekend. I'm like, oh, this would be a problem.
Yeah, because you live in the day and age you did. I mean, if you lived 100 years ago.
Not even 100 years ago. Well, that's 1950s.
I'm saying 100 years ago. Like, it's out of the question.
Yeah, 100 years.
Air conditioning coming.
That's why Florida got big, right? It's because it was just, now we have air conditioning. We can move.
Well, when we could get out of the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Once we had air conditioning, people were like, they could handle living here without mosquitoes.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a family member that, we tracked it way back in the day. My family is one of the original settlers here in Florida. Mm-hmm. And we have like a brand and a museum of being one of the original settlers. And it is because a family member, my great whatever grandfather, so far back, married a Native American up north somewhere, had like 13 kids. And then that helped him move into Florida. Because back then, if you moved into Florida or came down to Florida, they would just kill you. Because they were like, we don't want you here. But because he married a Native American and then had all these kids, they allowed him down into here. And then he started a cattle industry down here.
Holy shit.
Wheeled his way into there.
13 kids.
13 kids. Back then, that's like, you did it to help on the farm, I guess. And there's no condoms or anything like that.
Oh, God, it's just such a burden. But
got to feed another mouth now.
It's also that, like, one of the things that I appreciate about the day and age we live in is that people get to complain about shit like
anything.
Yeah, I mean, literally anything.
That
I love
people
that.
Want problems.
I love that.
They want to have problems. I'm glad I don't have the problems that they had way back then. Glad I wasn't. Who knows? We might have been alive then, and now we just that's why we appreciate more of what we have now.
I mean, the fact that people bitch as much as they do, like, people don't realize, like, that's because they don't have real problems.
They don't have nothing else to bitch about.
Like when Victor and Natasha were on the show and they're talking about, like, PTSD doesn't exist in the jungle.
No.
Now, granted, with an asterisk, I'm sure it does. Thank you for the feedback. But
you got feedback on that?
Sure did. People have problems, but, like,
I'm appreciating my name more and more now.
Right.
I can imagine. I can't find this guy. Give him his damn feedback.
At Golden DM, give me your worst. No, yeah, because they're concerned with surviving. They're concerned with getting by. And the fact, like, this morning I woke up and I was stressed, and the thing that's made the biggest impact on my day so far is the first 3 thoughts I have when I wake up in the morning. I make a conscious effort every morning. I've been doing this for the last 2 months, and it has improved my every single day. Mm-hmm. Every single day. I just catch the first 3 thoughts that pop up in my mind, and I make sure they're gratitude. I don't even say them out loud. Mm-hmm. But this morning I had stress. Like it was like when you wake, you're coming up, the alarm clock, and then you get some nice cortisol and adrenaline just settling in under your skin. You can feel the stress worms taking hold. And I was like, you know what? I'm just really grateful that I have those problems. Mm-hmm. Like the fact that like I have those problems says so much about where I've come. And then it was like all that cortisol and adrenaline just evaporated. And so it's like,
sounds like you have a pleasant wake up.
It's fucking great.
I literally have to have I have an alarm clock that's called a sonic boom. And that's how I wake myself up. And sometimes it doesn't even work. It's literally the loudest alarm clock you can buy on the market.
Have you tried the one that I have?
Mm-mm.
The sunrise alarm clock?
No.
Do you normally wake up to daylight pretty well? Like if
no, dude, I could sleep. I've literally slept through a tornado going by my house. Like I was in a tent and a tornado went by me, and I still.
Have you tried one of the buzzing alarm clocks?
I've tried them all, man.
Have you tried one of the buzz?
Yeah.
Puts the thing under your mattress?
Yeah. I've literally told myself almost to resort to one of those ones where it like shreds your money. But I was
find
like,
that this is like a hard thing to believe because you wake up so easy when I'm like, Dylan, get up.
On trips, I do. I can wake up easily. If I'm at home in my bed, good luck. Sorry, girlfriend. Sorry, Christy. I've had it to where she has come over and banging on my window, and I never woke up for hours.
Dude, same thing happened to me and a chick. She came over to get some of that. You know what? Door was locked. She scaled the gate to get into my community.
She was mad.
Scaled my house, and the window was locked. The door was locked. Oh.
I've had that happen with friends, too, where I just accidentally slept right through it.
Man, I still feel bad for that chick.
And so, like, the sonic boom is what helps me out because I'll be in the middle of a crazy dream, and my roommates even told me like, yeah, that thing goes off for like 5 minutes until like you don't wake up, but because it's going, eventually it'll catch me.
I feel like there's something that could be looked at outside of the actual waking up process that might.
Yeah, I should probably go to bed earlier and get more sleep. That would definitely help a lot.
This is a nice like. Something drastic has to happen for you to make some kind of like life altering
life.
You know when you're just thinking and the words come out.
I'm definitely getting better at the going to bed earlier. It's definitely been helping because now that I've been working out, man, like way harder, and my weights are getting, and I need more recovery. If I don't get sleep, man, that recovery is tough. I go into it like into my next workout like
it's not fun.
It's not fun, and I'm like disappointed in myself because all it takes is just go to bed, and I'm having to like give up what I think is important, but it's really not that important. Just go to bed and you'll get it done tomorrow.
Yeah,
type of situation.
Sure.
But I have the mindset of like I need to get it done now. If I can there's time. I can get it done. The world's asleep. Do it.
Yeah. My workout today, I literally had that thought where I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I've been eating healthy and shit. And I put something in my smoothie yesterday and today that just gave me like a raging headache. I think it was collagen. Mm-hmm. I'm like improving the smoothie game. I ordered all these different things. And I think the collagen, I just felt like shit all day. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go work out today. Don't care. Pushing through it. And the whole time I was not there. But sometimes I'll be doing a workout, especially that CrossFit stuff where they're like, hey, let's see how many times you can do this stupid fucking thing for 14 times in a row.
Yeah.
And I'm like rowing 6,000 meters. And I'm like, thank God I didn't, smoke that e-cig or something. It just.
I worked out yesterday. So with I know I mentioned it on the last one where I got the mangoes cause poison ivy or whatever.
Still don't have any mangoes, by the way.
Really, really bad right now all over me. And so I went and got roids. And then they also give me something else that helps you sleep.
Did you talk to the doctor about like us doing roids?
No, I didn't talk to the doctor, but they gave me roids for the poison ivy. But I did talk to my trainer, and he was like, yeah, I'm about it. Let's do it. He's like, you can't do it for like 30 days, though. You got to do it for like 90 days to get on a cycle. You can't.
90 days is a cycle.
He's like just bare minimum to like actually
get results.
Get some results out of it. You can't just.
I really want to talk to my doctor about the whole back thing, and if that's a thing.
I want to go to Peru and get the stem cell stuff done
for your knees.
Yeah,
sure.
And I think that would probably work real well on your back.
I don't know that my back has that kind of issue.
We should incorporate that when we go down there. I'm pretty sure
stem cells are great for everything.
Already going to be down there.
This is true, and the amount of people that have been asking us when we're doing that trip, like we really need to make that trip happen. We are in officially July, so
I think that might be a good.
What's the month? What's next year?
Next year, yeah.
No,
I think that gives us plenty of time. I've already got a big trip coming up at the end of the year. My year of this year of trips is like, I've got too much going on already.
You're disappointing a lot of people.
I think it gives time to plan. It gives time to plan for this thing. Time to get
September
prepared.
Feels like a really good
Delta
month.
variant's coming around. What is that going to do? You know?
Dude, I just learned about that the other day too.
The Delta variant. We're all going to freak out.
So what are we going to do? Go back into
now
lockdown?
Now they're saying this one's affecting the 30 and under. Like, they had to come up with a way to be like, well, this one attacks the younger people because younger people weren't worrying about it. It's so annoying.
Yeah,
I think businesses, especially corporations, are going to put their foot down on this one because they're going to be like, no, we're going to keep working. Because the economy and the world can't go back through that again.
It cannot.
So I think the corporations, the corporations, as we know, because they let people go in order to help the business, you do what's best for the business. And in the end, in this circumstance, the corporations will go, we're going to do what's best for the business, and we're going to keep working. If you don't want to work here because we're working, fine, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, man, it's scary to think about like governments trying to step in and do that again. I mean, I can't imagine having my business snatched from me the way it was for so many people.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, it was, but I didn't feel it. I was a small fry.
Yeah.
You know, I worked on my house. We shoveled dirt in my yard. Like,
again, one of the best years I've had in a long time.
Great year.
Yeah, definitely came down to what you make the most of it. But now going forward, I think people are going back to kind of that American mindset. Like, no, I have the right to be able to do what I want.
A year and a half ago at this point.
Do what I want. Like, cumulatively, the government stepped in and was like, no, we have to step in on this one and tell everyone to stop. And everyone accepted it. Hey, you're right. We'll take it. The world's doing it. We're all in this together. But then all the facts started coming out on things. And yeah, I'm sure it did help for us to figure out how to get the vaccine out. But now that the vaccine out and it's like we've been through it, it's like, well, now we know how to handle it. Okay, now we know how to do it. We know how to go about our business.
Yeah.
And now I think more and more people are like, no, I have the right to either
die. I have the right to die.
I have the right to die, or I have the right to just.
That's a slippery slope, then, isn't it? Because then once people realize that we are free, sentient beings, we are not objectified to man's law. I am what do they call it? Free citizen?
Yeah. Free American, free citizen.
No. There's a different term. A citizen, a sovereign citizen. I am a sovereign citizen.
Oh, say, can you see?
I'm about it. I was down to run that one out.
What did you think about the woman that thought that they started playing the StarSpangled Banner when she went up? The African American woman that won third place. Heard about that? No. Surprised. Okay, so there is the trial's going on right now to try to get into there. So she won third place, right? And then they started playing the StarSpangled Banner when she got up there. And then she thought that they did that on purpose. So then
Was she not from America?
No, she's an American. Like, she's an American. She was qualifying. She qualified to go to the Olympics.
Okay.
So then they thought she won third, got up there, and then they started playing the StarSpangled Banner. She thinks that they did it as on purpose against her. So then she tried to make a stance, face the crowd, put a shirt over top of her while everyone else was putting their hand over the heart or whatever that you do for the StarSpangled Banner.
What's the problem?
that she was just trying to make. I was just wondering what your thoughts were on it.
What's
she
the
was
issue? Why would she have a problem with that?
because she think that they were just doing it because the whole the kneeling during the StarSpangled Banner, that type of stuff that would happen during the NFL, everything. So she thought it was just against her, but then like you looked into it, the time that they did it, because they don't do the StarSpangled Banner. Okay, here let me go back a little bit. They don't do the StarSpangled Banner for the podium during the trials. It's only at the Olympics that they do it. So throughout the day, they're not doing the StarSpangled Banner when people get up on the podiums.
Sure.
So at this specific thing, when she got up, they play the StarSpangled Banner. Well, it just so happened that they always play the StarSpangled Banner every day around this time. And it just so happened that when she got up there, that's when they play the StarSpangled Banner every day. And so she thought it was against her.
Wow, way to go. Way to make a statement.
It was very, very
proud of you.
I was like, what is going on?
I mean, like here, and just to be very clear, my stance on kneeling for the flag is absolutely.
Do whatever you want.
100%, totally support it. All those people that get totally offended by it, go fuck yourself. All the veterans that gave their life, they gave their life so you could do that shit.
Exactly.
They gave their life so you don't have to fucking categorize people so that people don't get stars on their jackets. Like, they gave their life so we actually have a free land. So you want to get upset about someone kneeling over, a sports game? Why don't you get upset about your government actually spying on you? About being so entrenched with big tech that like you don't have a sense of freedom.
Oh, did you see Facebook got recently the lawsuit that was the antitrust lawsuit that was against Facebook? Facebook won. They can basically do whatever the frick they want now.
Yeah, because you're signing your rights away. It's a private company.
They literally can do. Well, they were. It's in the terms and conditions. They can just do whatever they want now, basically. And then their stock went up by 4 points. I don't want to buy Facebook stock, but they just hit $1 trillion, and I'm like, now they're up there.
They hit $1 trillion?
Now they're up there with Apple and Microsoft. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep. That's crazy, right?
That's insane.
Facebook. I didn't even want to buy it because I was like, oh, it's a trend. It'll go back down. I'm like, no, that shit keeps going up.
It's $1 trillion.
$1 trillion valuation now.
Oh my gosh. That's so gross. That's so much money. I mean, granted, like big companies like that, it's when people, they don't have a real understanding what like $1 billion or $1 trillion company is. Like it's not like that's liquid money. What $1 trillion company is, it's a company that has like $300 to $400 million in like R&D and bullshit and investment into infrastructure. Like they're putting so much money into shit that doesn't work all the time.
Yeah, there's so much money that they just burn. They know they're burning it. They're like, yeah, we're gonna try this. We're gonna
takes
try
money
that.
to make money.
Yeah,
Google literally has an entire fleet of projects that they want people to fail.
Yeah,
they have
bring us your ideas.
They're called moonshots.
We'll fund you, but we get your idea.
Have you heard about their moonshots? That's what they call them.
Heard of a moonshot. But
they have like a whole thing that they give people money to. They're called moonshots, where they're just like, I can't remember any examples of moonshots right now.
Is that kind of in reference to like going to the moon?
It was before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this started like 10 years ago.
Oh.
When they were like, we just want to, Google, I think Google goggles, glasses, whatever, came out of that moonshot. Augmented reality.
That idea got shot down by everybody.
It's fucking ugly.
Everyone's like nerds.
Yeah. They've been filing a lot of patents for that. So 2-3 years, they're supposed to be coming out.
Apple's the next one trying to make it happen.
Bro, if Apple comes out with some shit like the glasses you're wearing right now, I am all over there. I am in there like swimwear. But they gotta
look cool. Yeah, they gotta look cool.
Take my
Google
money.
wasn't making it look cool. They were.
Well, they were doing the best with what they had at the time.
You know what's interesting is that Uber and Lyft dropped their departments that were making self-driving cars.
Yeah, the AI.
Which is good. Which is good for the workers.
They got bought out by other companies.
But it's good that it's interesting that they dropped that because in the end, it would have, in theory, made more money for the company if they had self-driving cars. But now they dropped it. They were like, this is costing way too much money to try to fund into this. I think Google with Waymo is the only one now doing it.
I think there's a couple others.
I'm sure, but that's the one. Yeah, I did say that's the only one. So yeah, there's probably is a couple other ones out there.
There's a couple others. I mean, Tesla is definitely going to be all over that.
Oh yeah, Tesla's
all over that. So I was revisiting looking at trucks today.
It's like money.
And well, I contact my loan officer because the market is so high right now. I've got to refinance my house, get it
Ford
reappraised.
shutting down their plant or slowing it down to nothing in Michigan over the next month in July.
Yeah.
Because they can't, the chip problem's so bad that you don't have anything. So they're either shutting down their plants up there for a month or slowing it down to nothing. Ford.
Well, in that case, I mean, like the more I hear about this, it just doesn't feel like a great time to buy anything.
At all. It's a great time to refinance stuff if you got it.
Well, that's fine. I contact my loan officer because my goal was to buy a truck at the end of my push, and approaching the end of my push, I'm like, I'm still not seeing a lot of stuff that excites me.
And I think there's a lot that excites you, but the price is the problem.
Oh, yeah, dude.
There's a lot of stuff that you're like, man, that'd be great to have.
Well, I found my like truck where I was like, that's the truck I want. Call a buddy up out there in, I don't know, about 40 miles out. Say, hey, man, you got that Silverado sitting on that lot. What you want for it? Say, oh, yeah, that beast. This lady came in and bought it. Told her, ma'am, that truck's a little high for you, ain't it? She said, hey, give me that. And he said, all right. So we sold it to her. 5,000 miles later, shit, she brought it in. I told you, got her a Tahoe. I said, hey, man, why don't you tell me what the fucking sticker price is on that thing, huh? 72.5. I said, 72.5 what? I said, 72.5.
Like
one more time?
Perry, Florida.
It actually was pretty close to Perry. It was. 72,000 what does he want? I was like, since we're talking about numbers, 10-4, see you later.
72,000.
Yeah.
Truck.
It was a beautiful truck.
I wonder if you could have predicted that this was coming, but all these trucks at sticker price cheap and then come back, like just put them in a warehouse, come back out and resold them.
I mean, man, I just 40. I don't know that what we're going through right now, when the market drops out and all that, is going to affect the truck market too much. Anyway, I mean, I'm okay spending an extra $3 or $4 grand, I guess, to get what I want now. I don't see the market bottoming out and.
There's some kind of bubble coming.
Yeah, but do you really think that's going to affect the truck market?
For sure. Yeah, it'll affect all the market.
Yeah, but like what?
All the cars.
So what's going to happen? People are like, I mean, something pretty gnarly would have to happen, and I would still be waiting like 3 months.
People are just going to figure out different ways. But
also the interest rates are going to go up.
Public transportation is going to get better. Whatever it is, it'll just make it easier to try to get around everywhere. Like I'm looking, for example, right? We're planning a trip to Bulgaria, and from the research and from what my girlfriend's told me is that the public transportation is actually really good in Bulgaria. So much so that renting a car in Bulgaria is like 3 times as much as what it is in the U.S. Just because it's like, no one's taking cars. You don't really need a car. And parking's ridiculous.
It's insane.
So
it's not fun.
It's kind of what's going to happen in the inner cities in the U.S. is that at some point people are just going to be like, we're just going to solve this problem. And now,
I mean, at some point, but I think that point's very far off. After seeing Barcelona has the voted best public transportation in all of Europe, and it was very impressive.
They just approved the light rail here in Tampa. We got the ferry. They're approving another ferry going. They're going to do the light one. And we're saying years now. The Howard Franklin's going to have an option for a light rail to go across that, back and forth between St. Pete and Tampa. Tampa is improving their streetcar to go farther, I think, around the area. So like it's already being happening.
Sure.
Right. And now that the work from home is happening and people don't really need to drive, that bubble, like
that work from home thing is kind of getting let back up though.
It is, because now companies are like, well, we love you and we can control you. Get back in here. But I don't know when that bubble, I think it's right at the edge. I don't know what's going to happen or when that's going to happen. And it's not just new cars, it's used and new. Like the used car is basically as much as a new car nowadays.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, it's like, America. I don't know. I just don't want to buy a new phone and the next phone comes out in like 3 months. That's been the cycle of my phones. Mm-hmm. Now, I've only bought 2 cars as an adult. I bought one and then a year later I had to buy another one. But I'm okay holding out for a couple months if there's something juicy coming. But we've been feeling like this bubble's been coming for like 5-6 months.
It's going to come.
It's gonna come. But but then what? Like everyone loses their jobs and they flood the market with used trucks. I mean,
and that's when we go in and buy, baby.
But do you really want to hold out for that?
Well, I've got my own stuff going on with mine. I got that lemon law thing going on for myself.
Oh yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know.
Probably can't talk about it.
Can't really talk about it. I sent them my stuff, asked to confirm they got everything. They're like, "Yep, we're working on it." I was like, "All right, cool." So I'm just driving my car around until they say what's going on.
Huh? Yeah, because I mean that's the thing is that I'm just like I'm seeing more and more times where having a truck would be real cool.
Yeah, and then you just look at that payment.
$650 a month for fucking what?
For what? We might be carrying hay now.
But I want to go like get rocks for the front of my yard. I want to build a pergola. It would be cool to have that.
Now the people with trucks should be making money off of doing that kind of stuff for people, like posting on Craigslist, like, "Hey, I got a truck."
Well, I just remember how much of a pain in the ass it
$20
was
an hour
to rent a truck on like Turo. They could do stuff like that with because people don't want you fucking up their truck.
Just go to Home Depot, you get one, $20.
It's just still it's so inconvenient.
Just go to Home Depot and rent a truck.
Yes,
it's not that inconvenient.
Well, all right.
Easy.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
You want to go do something.
Okay.
I found a great deal on a table. We went through the table thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. So I organized, okay, I'm going to go get the table. Then I got to drive to Home Depot to get the table to my house, from my house to Home Depot, back to my house.
Yeah.
Just an extra like 2 hours every time you want to do something.
Yeah, I get it. And it is an annoyance.
That's all I'm bitching about.
No, you just want the truck so you can hop in and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
You know?
Would be nice.
And I thought $300 a month was expensive.
Yeah, I thought I wanted a truck so I can haul stuff around for like camping and stuff like that, kayaks.
Well, that's the other thing too, man. When we go to music festivals or whatever, like it's just nice to have the storage.
Maybe a trailer is the next route. You can hook it up to your car. That might be their next temporary route.
Where are we going to store it?
I do have a yard. Beep, beep, beep.
We'd have to tear down part of that fence, wouldn't we?
That's true. Where will we store it? Storage facility. Park it there.
Paying a month,
Then you're paying a monthly thing to store it there.
And you got to go there and get it.
Or at Luke's place. Store it right in that little lot right there.
Well, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is what I've been circling. I'm like, is it worth $600 a month and I have to deal with this anymore? Plus, my car it's about to need new rotors. Like, I'm about to have to put if I want to keep that car, I'm about to put another $1,000 into it.
It's coming down to it.
Yeah. Like, some of the seals, like, it's raining, so I get in there, it's humid, so some of the seals aren't fresh, and I just replaced the battery in it, and I'm like, she's approaching 170,000 miles.
Which truck is more American, Chevy, Ford, or Ram? Hold on, let's take that back. Ford F-150, Chevy 1500, or a Ram 1500. We're not even going to throw in Toyota, of course. Between those three, what is
The most American? I don't know my trucks. I'm out of my league on that.
what's the most American? You look at Chevy.
Chevy's Ford. It's a Ford, dude.
You look at Ford, right? But some of them are made in Mexico, right?
What's more fucking American than Mexico?
But they're if you ask Texas, there's a big difference down there.
Yeah, fucking right. Texas is built off of Mexico.
I love how Kamala was like, "See, there's not a problem." She went to the place with the wall. It's like, look, there's not a problem at all.
Oh my gosh.
Or Ram, Dodge, right? That was made here in America. But I come down between Chevy and Ford personally, because Chevy's always proclaimed to be like the American.
Isn't Chevy owned by Volkswagen?
No, Chevy's owned by General Motors.
Right. Yeah.
And I've always
GM is pretty fucking American.
GM's pretty American. They've always even said like we're the American vehicle, right? I'm reading a book on how their progress.
Ford is built tough.
Ford's built tough. We're the original. We created the assembly line.
Did you buy flour bags, cut out holes, and make overalls out of them? You should drive a Ford.
I like those memes where it's like at 2 a.m. Have you seen what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh. Are you talking about the guys getting the trucks or no?
No, it's like when the guy's like sleeping and it's like a 4 a.m. commercial and it's like, have you ever wanted to drive a truck that allowed you to fuck your cousin in the back of it? Ford's your truck.
Yeah, we're talking
You're
about
like,
similar things.
Waking up to that, you're like, all right, Ford.
Okay. All right, I see you.
I think they both have their American, I guess, ways, but
After going through this experience, I just think there's so many more people around me that have their priorities so fucked up that like I'm looking at these trucks and now when I see a pretty truck, I understand either how well off or how broke that person is.
for sure. I talked to my dad, right? He's in the construction industry, so he sees construction people want trucks. That's just what they do.
Yeah.
And so I talked to him about it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I see so many people that they'll just get a truck. They don't give a shit about the payment." And he'll talk with these guys that are working on the construction site, and they're like, "Yeah, I gotta go to the second job because I gotta pay my truck payment." But I was like, "Why did you even buy it?" And he was like, "Because I wanted a truck, and this is what it takes." Like, bullshit. My dad,
That just blows me away.
yeah. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh, this is what it takes. Like, nah.
I mean, there's something to be said for it. It's like, here's the deal. I've worked extremely hard to save up the money. And what it boils down to is like that, yeah, I want that thing. And I've thought about it this long. Like, I should go get that as long as I'm being responsible with my other money. Like, if I'm going to put $600 a month into this truck, I need to be putting like 12 or 1800 into building passive income.
A truck is the most accurate want or need scenario.
It's very much a want more than a need.
But like,
because we could just do the Toro, could do the Home Depot thing.
yeah, but it's the biggest want. Like, when you
I got no
they
car
teach
payment.
you with your budget, right? Like, they teach you that. Like, do you want it, and that's why you're trying to go after it, or do you actually need it? It's going to serve a purpose. And I feel like the truck is.
Where do you put women on this scale?
Where do I put women on this scale?
Because
Well,
I'll tell you what,
procreate, you need the woman.
I
right?
go back and forth all the time.
You need the woman to procreate.
No. Lord forgive me. You remember those old blue collar comedy specials?
Yours are
Shit,
shine.
Lord forgive me, or that one rather.
What else is American besides a truck? Right? Like, what's fireworks are everywhere. That's actually
Definitely
Chinese.
China.
China. What else is American? Eagle, shotgun,
Pumpkin pie?
pumpkin pie.
Are you talking about like when you think of America?
I'm just thinking American stuff like trucks. That's an American thing.
Nothing probably gets more American than a red Solo cup.
Red Solo cup. Boop, boop.
I fill you up. Boop, boop. Let's have a party.
Let's have a party.
That's all I know.
Yeah,
That's all you need to know.
that's all you need to know about it. Fraternities, sororities. That's pretty American. I don't think they have that much anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, student debt.
Oh, true. That's American right there. That's
Pretty American.
that's straight up American.
Yeah. Embezzlement, capitalism.
9 to 5.
I don't know. There's plenty of people working 9 to 5.
I mean, that's. I guess probably Canada they do 9 to 5 too. What else is it?
Health debt.
Southern border problems.
Plenty of people have southern border problems.
That's right. Germany did for a whole while.
So what? How about y'all tell us? If we're missing something, what's the most American thing that you can think of? I mean, bald eagles are pretty American.
Budweiser
pretty American.
Budweiser's pretty American.
I always think of Bud Light as
Yingling's
I'm
pretty
a
American.
Bud Light guy.
Oh, for the party this weekend, instead of a keg, because I was going to get a keg,
Yeah.
Bud Light Seltzers, BOGO. So I bought a keg's worth of Bud Light Seltzers.
How much did you spend on that?
$100.
Really?
That's all it was.
Yeah. How much is a keg?
Well, without the deposit, it's like $130. No, I take it back. I think it's 130, and then without the keg, it's like 160. I think is what it comes out to. But if you have a keg deposit that you can bring with you, it comes out to 130, I believe. So we spent like 100 and something bucks, $108, I think is what total.
So it would have been 20 more bucks for a keg.
Yeah,
But at least with this way, you get to keep the leftovers.
yeah, exactly. Because that keg out there is probably, I think, filled with a quarter thing of beer still.
It went through 2 parties.
Oh, it did.
Took it to a second party the next night.
Oh, okay.
And I was forcing people to do keg stands.
Like,
I mean, there were so many people.
Keep drinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know how many. I didn't want to get stuck with that. And then, like,
That is the advantage.
Yeah.
Do you have regular beer? It's all seltzers.
It's all seltzers.
Because they're, okay.
Bud Light seltzers.
Okay.
Variety pack. We got
mean,
a lemonade one. We got the limited edition.
I mean, here's the deal. I'm working out
seltzer.
really hard tomorrow because
100 calories.
Saturday and Sunday, I'm wrecking it. I'm
100 calories.
taking this body and slamming it into the curve.
That's what you're supposed to do on Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday, buddy.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That's I'm saying.
So I thought you were going to have the party on Saturday. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's prep for a Saturday thing. But I mean, Sunday is July 4th.
Sunday is July 4th. Most people have off on Sunday.
Most people have off on Saturday. What?
I mean, if you want to party, go party on Saturday.
I am, and I will.
I think I'm going to go disc golfing.
I might join you.
I think I'm going to go disc golfing.
Figured out what the little thing's for, by the way.
Oh, there's a purpose.
It's a place marker.
For just like, this is where it was left at.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you place mark? Because don't you just throw from where you were at anyways?
If someone's closer, that kind of thing. It's just like golf.
Oh, true.
Dude, there was so the guy, I can't remember the guy's name. He beat out like the 5-time defending world champion.
Mm-hmm.
I think this dude named Phil, maybe.
Way to go, Phil.
He aced an 18th hole.
Was that the one where they sent him to playoffs?
Yeah.
I saw that video circulating.
Oh, man. What a shot.
He definitely looked like the type of guy, too, that'd be into disc golf.
Oh, man. I've seen that guy lose some heartbreakers, too.
Really?
I do follow it a little bit, and I've seen him lose some heartbreakers, and what a freaking shot that was.
All the way down.
That was like, that's equivalent to when Tiger bunked that shot, when he took the 9-iron and it went straight in. I mean, it was like that fist pump. Like, what
he ran all the way down, too.
Oh, my God. I couldn't believe it. That was such a good shot. I'm down for Saturday. I want to do something weird, though. I've been working really hard.
Get weird, buddy. That's American. Getting weird. I'm sure that's everywhere, but.
I mean, it is pretty much everywhere, but are you a Bud Light guy or a Budweiser guy?
Bud Light if I'm chugging, which if I'm drinking that type of beer, Budweiser or Bud Light, if I'm in the mood to drink that, I'm in a chugging mood. Right? Budweiser you can't really chug too much.
I feel like I've arrived at the age in life. I don't even have kids and I'm like, the idea of just getting drunk, dude. I'm trying to hype myself up right now and it's like
you go to more tailgates.
Damn right.
We go to tailgate, like a college football tailgate.
I've intentionally distanced myself from these things, but you know what? You're right. I do need more of them in my life, don't I?
Football. That's American.
Football is American.
That's American as fuck right there.
Yeah.
And
How long
basketball.
we got until football's back?
Basketball, September.
Yeah.
There's another, couple months.
How about them Lightning? Huh? Yeah. How about them
2-0.
Bolts?
Screw you, Canada.
Yo, we are coming for that cup.
4-0. 4-0 is what's going to happen.
Back to back. And then Super Bowl back to back?
Send him your feedback of why you think Canada is so bad and they're going to lose
I don't care. I honestly don't. Don't worry about it.
Because the team from Florida
will be
that
left
doesn't
on
have
red.
any ice anywhere is beating you.
Yeah, but we got money. That's what we got.
That's what we got. That's right, Vinnick. Pow.
Yo, imagine if they moved the Rays Stadium over here. Bro.
Oh, over to Ybor. They were talking about doing that again.
Yeah.
They were talking about doing that again.
Tear
Man,
this
that would be
project
awesome.
down.
I wish they had a basketball team here. That would be nice.
Are we big enough to have a basketball team?
Yeah.
Charlotte has one, right?
We were champions last year. We're looking to be a champion again. Plenty of people will go to Bucks, Lightning. Rays are pretty difficult to get people to. But like in that stadium, just that stadium with the Lightning, you could fill that easily.
I mean, that would make a great basketball stadium. But I don't know.
And Vinnick's literally building a Marriott hotel that connects to the stadium that you can walk from.
Really?
Yeah. It's almost done. It's crazy.
Oh, man.
He owns now the JW Marriott, which was the one on the waterside one. He's building a even nicer Marriott that now connects to the stadium. And then he's building a whole street of just shops and stuff that are centralized around his stadium.
That's so cool.
That's so cool.
That's so cool. I love that. That dude's such a baller.
Such a baller. I don't even know what he does. I just know he owns this and balls out.
Man, you know, talk about it's people like that make me struggle with my purpose in life. It's like, do I want to go be part of nature and just like love and live, or just like, do I just want to be hardcore capitalism and just?
That's why we're here, folks. A little bit of balance.
Yeah, no kidding. It's literally the reason we made this podcast.
This is why we made that podcast. You have to have a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Little bit of both.
Little bit of both. Little bit of both. Yeah, but I mean, when you look at a city like Miami, I mean, cocaine built that shit,
For sure. Yeah.
right? And
There's
so, like,
cocaine. That's, when you brick up a house, like that's cocaine bricks.
you break up a house.
Yeah, that's
You know, you
cocaine bricks.
just chop up a house and
Well, we got to cut the wood. Cut
hold
it
on. I got
all
my
up.
mortgage coming up. Gotta pay my bills.
That city is built on. That's a whole nother world down there, for sure.
We built this city
We built this city
on cocaine.
I think America too it's so different on how you go to.
Cocaine's pretty American
That's pretty Colombian.
because of us.
Yeah, but it comes from. I mean, you associate it with it coming from Colombia, though.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm not like if someone were like, "Oh, this is American cocaine," I'd be like, "Get that shit out of here!" Like it's gonna be horrible.
Right.
What?
Right.
Don't
Nobody
want
wants
that.
that.
I don't want that.
Nobody wants that.
Fred up the street made that. I don't want that.
When I was in Costa Rica, though, the guy said, "Did I already tell this? Am I rehashing something here?" Apparently, Peruvian cocaine is the cocaine that you want in Central America.
Get it up here.
No, I was just asking, like, this guy that
It's-
moved from America there, and I asked him about like what drugs are popular.
Is weed American? Because we're the ones kind of progressively trying to make it legal. I don't think other countries have it legal. I think America's the only one that's actively trying to make it legal. Canada does have it legal. Canada does have
yeah.
it legal. But we're the first. We were the first to start making it
I
in our
think
states.
of Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
When I think of weed, I think of Amsterdam.
They do have like mushrooms legal there. They have
It's
everything
truffles.
legal. Truffles is what they
Not
call it.
mushrooms. They've outlawed mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah, you can't buy mushrooms. So they grew a different strain of fungi. That's why they're called
We
truffles.
call them truffle. Man, think about. I was thinking about that too with this poison ivy. Of like, there's plants out there that you can eat and they taste good. There's plants out there that say "fuck you," we're gonna give you a rash. They have
For the
Plants?
smoothie, I bought all these herbs from a like very like hippy dippy organic herb whatever place, and they had a smoking blend. And when I was in Austin, I tried
is American hippie because you go everywhere else it's gypsy.
to fuck my story. I don't know, is it?
And everywhere
hell
else
yeah.
it's gypsy.
Being an American, it's pretty.
It's
hippie.
hippie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you go other parts of the world, it's called gypsy.
Well, gypsies are different. We have gypsies in America.
You'd know this better than I do, so I don't know.
Yeah, gypsies are just people that just kind of like, well, they're known a large part of the world for being people you do not want to associate yourself with because they steal.
That's what my girlfriend tells me too.
Yeah, they're not like gypsies are pretty notoriously like.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I kind of did, but
It's okay. Yeah, I mean, gypsies are more like a characteristic of people that you're just like, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad there. It's a cesspool of like, look out for yourself, right? They
But-
just do whatever they can to get by, travel, don't care about you.
wasn't there a movie that Disney made based off like Hunchback of Notre Dame? Literally based off
Gypsies?
of, yeah, it's like the
Aladdin would be a bit more of a gypsy.
the
story.
woman in it comes from a gypsy life. And
Sure
then
enough.
she helps the hunchback weird looking guy get to wherever he needs to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about that movie.
What were you talking about? I'm sorry, I interrupted your story.
I've lost that.
That's gone. Yeah.
Yeah,
bad.
built this city.
Built this city, America.
So I think yeah, this feels good. All right.
One more American thing. What's another top ahead American thing? Go.
Oh, I just thought about the Declaration of Independence. I was literally thinking about that to end the show with.
That's a great one. I think
Yeah.
hemp. hemp's a very American thing because it's always been there. And
the Declaration is written on hemp paper.
it is written on hemp, and they tried to hide that, which is crazy that they try to hide that. They're like, oh yeah, this is paper. That
Hemp.
It's all hemp that's written on.
Yeah.
You ever been there and looked at it?
Sure haven't.
It's pretty neat. They have it in a big
Smithsonian?
room. I don't know if it's Smithsonian. I think it's its own area.
In D.C.?
Yeah, definitely D.C. And they have it in a room, and there's like the Emancipation Proclamation papers, Declaration paper, and then something else. And they have it kind of in like a small lit room, and like they tell you not to take pictures because it takes away the ink, and they will get mad if you start taking pictures in there with the flash. You can take pictures without the flash. With the flash, they start getting pissed.
Good.
That's American pissed.
You have like hundreds of thousands of people visiting a year. It's like you can only...
And then I started asking, I was like, is that the real one? And the security guard was like, I don't even know. He's like, they probably just lowers into the ground. They probably have a layer underneath that they switch it out with. You know, Nicolas Cage still living, so they have to make sure that's American. Nicolas Cage movies.
I wouldn't even be mad if they weren't displaying the real one. It seems kind of like a not a good idea to display the real one.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, it's under like 3 layers of glass, like protection. There's no, I mean, you couldn't get to it if you like anybody tried.
Yeah,
through that.
I get that, but still.
Yeah, but why have it out at that point?
I mean, yeah, whatever, liberty, all that good stuff. Big fan.
Freedom is American.
Yeah, as long as you vote, pay your taxes, you're free as fuck.
Good point. As long as you pay your taxes, you can be as free as you want.
You know, it's fucking American. Money.
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 Money, money, money.
Buy your happiness.
Money.
Buy your freedom. Buy your mayonnaise.
America.
Hey, we love you guys, and if you love us, please do us a favor and rub your finger up next to that
if
like
you can
and
just
subscribe
bombard
button.
that subscribe button, just blow it up.
I dare you to break
Blow
your finger. Just
it up.
snap your
Just
finger on that subscribe button.
Gracefully blow on it.
And if you don't like us, hey, that's cool too. Be sure to send all your negative feedback to Dylan and all your...
If you can find me, because obviously y'all can't.
How much have you been working out, Colton? Because your muscles are just out of control. Yeah, wait till you see us on steroids, I'll tell you what.
Oh, this is going to be great. I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be...
By the way, for all devoted ones out there, we will be updating our YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram Reels. So we will be re-releasing the show on Tuesdays moving forward.
Seems like that's when y'all listen the most. So, and it helps us out if we release it then. Now that we're getting more editing to make it a little bit nicer, for you, it just Tuesday works a lot better to be able to do that.
So, again, if you're not subscribed, that's the way to stay up to date with us. And
just gently caress that subscribe button.
Bye, guys.